Hey guys, just letting you know, the original episode was like 2.5 hours, maybe three. So it's being cut down, and hopefully like these shortened episodes. Um, yeah, have a good week.
Just relax and enjoy the podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the fifth episode of Wey Hwah. I am joined here by the one and only Sir Stumpy the Lumpy, also known as Ethan. Say hello.
Hello, it
And
is I.
it is indeed he. And yeah, okay. So, how's it been going?
Been pretty good, the usual.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody knows the usual, the classic,
Yeah,
the original sandwich. But yeah, the sandwich, sure.
I
Yeah,
have upgraded my sandwich making quite a bit.
same here, dude. Same here. I've learned how to make a mean ham and cheese sandwich, and turkey and cheese.
I started toasting the bread always, and then a little mayonnaise, a little lettuce, and then you add an avocado to it.
Mm.
Takes it to the next level.
Yeah, the toasting bread is usually pretty cool. The fact that you didn't toast your bread. I mean, to be fair, I don't really toast my bread either. Like I used to a lot. I stopped doing it because it took too much time and I was just usually too hungry to actually toast
I feel that. I feel that. There's a the quality of the cooking decreases as the hunger increases.
it. Right. Because you start to care less. I want food,
Yeah,
and if I don't get it now, then then it's not going to be worth it.
I agree.
So, and I guess we can just dive right on into it. If there's nothing else about you that's happened, it's absolutely insane. Like you haven't been
Not
probed by
necessarily.
aliens or anything.
Yeah. I say we dive into it.
Alright. Um, it would have helped if I was more prepared. That's okay. I just need to pull up. I pull it.
I pull up.
You ever just look Google up?
Do I ever look up what on Google?
Google. You ever just look up Google on Google?
I mean, I've done that a time or two. I can't say I haven't.
It's just like, the screens are different. And also, you know, I got used to doing it
Yeah,
as a little youngster.
yeah.
Alright, folks at home or wherever you are, here is the topic for today. It's the fourth dimension. And assuming that for whatever reason we can't come up with a bunch of content for the fourth dimension, there are other topics, but I'm not going to mention those unless that happens. Alright, first and
Indeed.
foremost, acknowledging that the fourth dimension is an increasingly popular topic in today's society, what exactly do you find interesting about it?
Well, I mean, it's just the fact that we can't really conceive it with our three-dimensional minds, or because all we've known is forward, backward, up, down, right? And obviously that's, I mean, pretty simple, but it's not necessarily that simple. But the fourth dimension, like some would say that there is a fourth spatial dimension, which I'm not necessarily sure how that would work. But others say that the fourth dimension is like time, and so as humans, we've never really been able to manipulate or, how would you say, like
Control?
we've really had no bearing over time. And so, like, some say the fourth dimension, like, you can go forwards, backwards, all sorts of directions in time, and that just seems so alien to us because I mean, we don't even know where to start in, like, controlling time. We just accept its passing and quantify it.
That was a very in-depth answer for that.
Yeah. I mean, it's science is the trying to figure out the stuff that you don't know, so it's a big part of science.
Right. So this one's kind of a weird question, but do you think that there's anything you've ever seen that could be considered like fourth dimensional or not of this dimension, I guess?
I can't say I cannot say that I have ever seen anything personally that looked fourth dimensional. I mean, we've all seen the gifs on like, Google of like the Tesseract of what some would consider to be a fourth dimensional cube, but other than that, and obviously I've seen the movie Interstellar, but other than that, can't say that I've ever seen anything fourth dimensional.
Let me just say Interstellar is an absolutely great movie. Totally should watch it. Just my little
Most
plug
certainly.
there. Do you think that there are beings in the fourth dimension?
Well, I mean, man, that's a tough one. I mean, that goes. Would you say there are beings in the second dimension or the first? I mean, how would we even?
Well, in that
Because there's,
case,
people talk about alternate universes, alternate planes. Maybe that's the same thing as an alternate dimension. And, you know, there possibly could be beings in higher dimensions. Some would speculate that, like, some would even go so far to speculate it's like heaven is the fourth dimension. Or maybe a dimensions higher than that. So maybe, like, angelic creatures or maybe even God himself is a being of the fourth or higher dimensions. It's a little far-fetched, but
considering that we have no idea what the fourth dimension is other than like concepts, I feel like that's anything is not considered to be far fetched.
you got a point there. What do you think?
I think that sightings of ghosts, because I think the fifth dimension is the one of time, and I think the fourth one is like hollow. Like I think, or not hollow, but like the fourth dimension is like a inward kind of thing. So anything that can go
Okay,
through itself. Because a
right,
tesseract, like if you look at a diagram of it, it's just a bunch of cubes that like intercept with each other, and then
right, and
it,
then expands infinitely inward and out. Okay,
yeah. So I feel like any kind of ghost sighting could be considered to be a fourth dimensional um sight, I guess. Which I've never directly seen a ghost before. I've seen scary stuff, but I don't think I've seen a ghost before.
yeah, I can't say that I have either.
Which I'm
That
kind of
makes sense. I
glad.
like that. Yeah, can't say I would be too happy if I saw a ghost. I like that. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That idea on what the fourth dimension is. I mean, is it another spatial dimension or is it another time dimension or like is it a new aspect? Because what are the aspects of reality? Time, gravity, motion, and
Space.
then spatial stuff right up on. So you're saying that the fourth dimension is like so we already have up down left right. Fourth dimension would be like inward. Is that what you're saying?
Basically. Spatial. Yeah.
Right.
So believe it or not, 2D shapes, there's such thing as a circle,
Right.
a square, a triangle, a line segment, polygon. I don't know what a polygon is necessarily. Oh, it's just literally any shape. That's not like
Right.
a direct shape. Um,
I just recently learned my shapes.
oh, same. Yeah, back in the fourth grade,
Yeah.
because that's when you learn shapes, is in fourth grade, not in any other grade, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't start introducing shapes till around age
The 3D shapes are the sphere, which is the 3D circle, 3D square is a cube, 3D equilateral triangle is a tetrahedron. Tetrahedron? Yeah, tetrahedron.
9. Yes.
Which, um, well, I was trying to see a picture of it. I guess that's just like a pyramid.
Right. Well, I think what pyramid on. Wait.
Like a four, or wait, no. Tetra means four. So that means it's like a three-sided pyramid and then like,
Right.
but I'm gonna look it up just in case because I don't trust myself enough to actually go with that.
No, I think.
Yeah, that's what it is. Um, then next up, polygon. 2D, 3D polygon is a polyhedron, which just
No,
looks
just
like
be.
a boulder. just random conformed shapes. A line segment 3D is a plane, which is crazy.
Oh
Uh,
man.
oh, well, I mean, like, it seems obvious when you read it, but yeah, that is actually kind of insane. Because like a line segment is 2D, so
Right.
even though it's technically 1D, but it still
So
has
it's a.
like a length or a height.
Right. So then, what would like a so the 3D version, like a plane? Dimension, what would
According to this, it says it's a hyperplane, which yeah, I know. A plane premium.
on
Oh, oh
square?
wow, that is horrifying. I'll send you a picture of that because it's a little special.
Oh.
Uh, it's like a bunch of planes.
So it's basically a 3D graph essentially.
If you want to call it that, sure.
In layman's terms, that's that's not the easiest image to look at.
No, no, it's not. It hurts my eyes. I mean, the colors aren't that bright, but it's like there's just a lot
Now,
going on.
do they have like a gigaplane or something that's like
Giga
a
plane.
4D, a 4D version of that?
The 4D version, or wait, that is the 4D version.
Oh,
The
okay.
there's nothing beyond. Well, I guess I could look up a 5D line segment, but I feel like any more than that is insane, basically.
Yeah, that's far-fetched and a far-fetched topic.
That hurts my eyes. Dude, I looked up a 5D hyper the search. There's a picture of a Tesseract aura, and it is hurting my eyes. Not only because it's in like hyper contrast and
Oh,
skull.
I see that image.
It's,
Oh,
it's so cool, but also it's really hard to pick out what's the actual key.
yeah. Oh, it's like,
Makes me want to throw up a little bit.
I'm seeing one that's like curved.
It's curved? I see a curved Tesseract?
So hyperplane. It's showing a hyperplane field. Oh, fields are like moving against each other.
Uh, oh, to be real with you, I don't really like this all that much, you know?
Yeah, this is
That's a bit much.
Jesus.
So 5D hyperplane is assumed to just be like endless boxes of planes. Because it's not really
Yeah.
showing an exact picture of what a hyperplane looks like, it's just mostly showing the other ones. Um, and then it's saying that the 3D version of a square is an octahedron? That doesn't make any sense.
3D version of a square is not.
Because that should be, I mean, it says it's a cube, but I don't, what?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if that's right. I feel like that might be a typo. I don't know, I don't trust that. It's very, very sussy. So we're gonna go back. Yeah, I just said sussy. Um, the 4D version of a sphere is a globe.
Wait, the 4D version of a sphere is a what?
A globe. Glome.
Gloom? Because that would be, it would be like a. Hold on. Oh man. That would be like. So imagine a portal of that.
Of a globe?
So it would be like a. It'd
It,
be like a hole in space on a. Well, it would look the same in all directions.
yeah, that's exactly what it is, actually. It's in. It's. It's a sphere. Oh. It's a wormhole that
Oh,
curves. It's literally a wormhole that curves.
right.
Because you're not.
Wait, what?
It's a little bracelet.
Oh, it curves in on itself though.
Yeah. So, like, it. Oh, there's this one shape that I saw. And it's. Um, goodness. It's like a. I think I saw it on TikTok or something. But it's a. It's a impossible, or not impossible, but it's a glass jar that has an opening on the outside, and then you, the the subject they used was the ant for the to give an example of what it looks like going in and out of it, and the ant goes in the hole that leads in the inside of the jar, but it's not actually inside the jar. And it's just like with a little tube in the jar, and then it comes out on the other side, which is actually in the jar, and then it loops around and goes back in the hole and comes back out on the other side.
Oh, I think I've heard of this. What is it called?
I have no idea.
Hold on. So is that what a gloam would be like to us? Like a wormhole, essentially?
I think so. Except it has depth. Or it could be that this picture is just really trippy. Regardless, I'm just thinking, like, you know the tetraplane? Or not tetraplane, the hyperplane. I'm thinking like a 4D dimensional being. Like a father and son kind of thing. Pretty much about. A four-dimensional father and son, yeah, would be like playing catch with a globe, just like tossing the globe back and forth. I don't know what they would use to hit it with, but I'm sure there's some kind of version of a 4D cylinder.
Uh, that sounds like it hurts. So how do you think movement would work in the first dimensional?
Um, I think it just means that you can phase through things. Like I think uh, there's no solid thing.
Wow.
Or not that there's no solid thing, but like everything in the fourth dimension, first off, is not solid. But that also just means that you're not solid because people in the third dimension, which is our dimension, can touch 2D things, but we can't phase through it.
Right. Now how do you think? Okay, so how would that? I'm trying to think, how would like phasing through something work?
I mean, I think it. Um, this is all hypothetical because I've never been in the fourth dimension or been a fourth dimensional being,
Right.
but which
Right.
which might sound a little crazy, but
That's insane, to be honest with you.
I know, but it's probably just like the fourth dimension. Your body isn't solid. I mean, it's about as descriptive as I can get. Like you just aren't a solid being, which means that I mean it's a lot to comprehend. But in order for you not to be a solid being, that means you have to be from. Uh, I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Would you expand like infinitely inward or inward on a plane?
I mean, like I said, I think it would just be as simple as like being a ghost. Because I think the shapes, because the shapes that I'm seeing of a 4D figure isn't necessarily that it's infinitely expanding. It's more that it's the 3D version of how you look at it. Just like a 3D shape is a 2D shape. So,
So like, so there's a flat, and it's about like 2D like shapes, how they move and stuff. And so they see like a 3D sphere like pass by. So they see all they can see is a circle get smaller and bigger and then just disappear. So like us seeing a four-dimensional being, we would just perceive their three-dimensional aspects, and those aspects, since they're in the fourth dimension, they'd be like misrepresented. So we would just see like you said, if they look like a ghost, it looks like they're hollow, and like we would just see them, move for a certain period of time and then disappear. But they were really just, going back into the fourth dimension, like, uh, which it looks insane to us, but to them it's really not that big of a deal. It's just part of everyday basic movement. Like, as a three-dimensional being, how do you escape a three-dimensional cage? Like, you draw a line in the sand around your feet, or put like some material in the sand around your feet. How do you get past that? Where you just step over it? So
all we have to do is just
what am
step
I gonna
over
say here?
the third dimensional plane. That easy.
So essentially, like you're engaging a higher. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. So fourth dimensional beings, we see them pass through our plane. Okay, so that'd be like when an ant sees a human's foot. Let's say that it can't look up. The ant can't look up. It just sees a foot, and then it sees that foot disappear. Well, we didn't really disappear. We just entered their realm of perception and then left.
Right.
So those fourth dimensional beings that are entering our realm of perception, hypothetically, and then just leaving. But they're not really just disappearing. They're just going back to their. Well, they're already in their dimension, but they're just exiting our realm of perception in their respective dimension. Does that make sense? You see what I'm...
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of pictures and stuff, and visual diagrams and videos about what it's like being a 2D shape. It's not perfect because in all technicality, I don't even think it's possible for something to be one dimensional. You know, I know that
Yeah,
sounds kind of weird, but I mean, in order for something to be one dimensional, that means it has to have like no width, which means that it's not there.
right.
So
Yeah,
that it's all like I said,
but
it's
it can...
all based on theory. But like a piece of paper isn't a two-dimensional thing. Like it has 3 dimensions. It's just extremely
Yeah,
thin.
right. It just has a... But you can use it as... Its width is so small that
It's good for being
you
used
can...
as an example.
Right. But so what's... So would like a two-dimensional being, would they not have any width at all? Or would they have like one atom of width?
I mean, a two-dimensional being. Let's see. In order for it to be a true two-dimensional being, that means that it can't be bigger than 0. So, technically, it would have no width. Or if it had width, then it can have one of the other two options.
That's a mind-bending concept.
It is. And one-dimensional being, if a two-dimensional being is basically impossible, if not impossible, then a one-dimensional being is beyond impossible. Because, first off, what constitutes a being is that it's sentient and able to, if not necessarily live, but like exist, you know? So I feel
Right.
like if a being couldn't do anything besides go in one direction because it's only one directional, which again, impossible, but not an important part, then it's not technically a being.
Right. But that gets a little... That gets into the, what would you say, the technicalities of sentience and beings, but like an amoeba, right?
Mm,
You could consider those two-dimensional beings, almost.
almost. Like
Well, if you like observe them in a microscope, because
yeah,
they
but
can only move like... But I see what you're saying. They still have some amount of width, enough to exist.
right, because they got stuff inside of them to, help them with eating and absorbing food and transforming it and all that. So I feel like there's, even those. I know you agreed, but even that is still considered to be three-dimensional.
End of part 1. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Have a good week.